What's up, This is Trent, aka TradeMark here. And if you like me, your YouTube sub boxes have been flooded with information about next generation consoles and next gen games. And as I've been listening to these videos and read over some of the comments that are being posted on these videos, I wanted to give some feedback to my subscribers about some of the trends that I've been noticing in regards to these videos. First off, I'm seeing a large trend of unwarranted hatred from fanboys of a certain console or game. All right? And let me make this clear. It is okay to like and to be passionate about a specific product or service. And it's okay to support your favorite game or your favorite developer or your favorite console. But remember that at the end of the day, competition within a marketplace is a good thing for consumers. Okay? Again, competition gives us choices. It allows us to choose what to do. Competition breeds innovation. Competition pushes pricing down. Competition essentially allows us as customers to get what we want. Okay? To give you a hypothetical, if there was no consoles at all and no gaming at all, and everyone's hyping up this new thing called gaming, and the very first person that's going to do gaming is Sony, and they're going to call it the PlayStation. Okay, they could charge whatever they want for this PlayStation. They could charge an insanely high monthly fee. They could charge thousands of dollars for the console, and you would pay it because the only alternative is not to game at all. And I know there's things like PC gaming and other consoles and whatever, but this is just a hypothetical. If there was no competition at all, it's either game and pay thousands of dollars and whatever crazy fees they want, or don't game at all. It's called a monopoly, and monopolies are terrible for consumers because you suffer from an overpriced product, and eventually that product would be stagnant, and they'd have no reason to update it, no reason to change it, because as far as your options go, that is your only option. So the only thing that prevents something like that from happening is the Xbox. It's Microsoft, it's Nintendo, it's the Ouya, it's Oculus Rift. No matter how large or how small, it's competition that prevents those things from happening. And I'm always cheering for newcomers into the gaming industry, okay? Whether it's a console like Ouya or Oculus Rift, whether it's a developer or a new game, even if I don't actually buy their products, even if I don't personally support them, I do cheer for them because I realize that if they create a good enough product, if they create a product that people really want, all the companies within the industry have to also innovate their products. They have to come up to the same level, or they have to surpass that, or else they risk being left behind. They risk people avoiding or stopping. They won't buy their products anymore. So that's the first thing that I want you to remember, is that it's okay to be a fanboy. It's okay to be passionate about the products you like, or the companies, or the games, or the consoles. But at the end of the day, you are a gamer, and we're all on the same side. As a gaming community, we should be excited for anyone that brings something new, something cutting edge, something innovative to the industry, and we should be disappointed when any company within the industry tries to hurt or degrade our experience, or hurt our experience as gamers. So that's the first thing I want you guys to remember. Competition is a good thing. Don't get too fanboyish. Appreciate competition. Secondly, another trend that I'm seeing a lot of in videos these days is that there's a lot of sheeple who believe every single word that they read on the internet or in a press release. And a sheeple is just a term that I use, is that are people that behave as sheep. They don't voice their own opinions. They just kind of follow the herd. Okay, and I'm sorry to break it to you type of people, but companies lie, especially large corporations like Activision and Microsoft and Sony. They lie as a marketing strategy. They lie as a form of PR, as a way to save face. They lie to get your money. They will do whatever it takes for them as a business to be profitable. Okay? And I hear people being lied to, and they just take the bait, hook, line, and sinker. And they're just like, oh, that's why we can't have this feature on a game. Or that's why, you can't have this or that. Really what it is companies need to think outside of the box. They need to come up with a solution that benefits both parties, both the publisher or the creator of the console and the consumer, the customer. And if they create solutions that benefit both parties, you'd never see these huge uproars when a company creates a bad policy. To give you an example, the Xbox One policies that everyone had a fit over in regards to used game sales and the online checks, and in order to manage DRM, okay? After they changed their policies on that, most people were happy, but there were those people who were like, oh my gosh, now we're not going to get all the cool features that were supposed to be a part of Xbox One. Let me make it clear, restrictions are not features, okay? You can implement a feature that benefits both parties. If it only benefits one side, then it's definitely, or if it only benefits a percentage, a small percentage, or, whatever, of your customer base, then it's probably not a feature, okay? What I'm going to give as an example is Microsoft had these online checks, okay? And they had these used game policies that were trying to prevent the used game sales market from thriving, because the publisher and the developer don't get money on used game sales. I mean, that's a very basic understanding. And so they tried to find a way to combat it. Now, what they didn't understand is that there are solutions out there that do benefit both parties, and I've read a dozen of them, different solutions that they could have implemented to make people happy. Okay, they could have had looser restrictions on the actual policy itself. Instead of having it checking in every 24 hours, they could have made it a weekend or a week or a month. Instead of doing instead of no used game sales unless it's at an authorized place, they could have split up physical sales and digital sales. And I think this is the best solution because it just makes sense in my mind. But think of it this way. If you buy a disc, a physical game, you own that. You bought that property. You carry it in your hand. That is your property to do with it what you want. You can hand it to, you can lend it out, you can sell it, you can trade it, you can break it, you can use it as a coaster. Whatever you want, that disc is yours. You bought it. It's your physical property. Now, if you buy a digital game, a digital copy of the game, well, then we're talking about intellectual property. It's no longer so cut and dry as to what you own, and you're more renting the rights to play that than actually physically owning something. And so, if they did that, this is what it does, because okay, now if I own the disc, I can do whatever I want with it. I can play that disc offline as much as I want. I own it. I can play it offline all day, every day, as long as I have that disc in my Xbox One. As long as I have the disc with me, I can trade it, I can sell it, I can do whatever because I own that. Now, when it comes to the digital copy of the game, well, I can buy a digital copy of the game, but because I'm renting it, now I have to have restrictions. So I have to check in online every day or every week or whatever to prevent from piracy of just downloading it on as many people's consoles and just staying offline so you can play games. And now I have to have restrictions. But you don't always have to have pure restrictions without bonuses. And hear me out. The other way to combat used game sales is to encourage people to buy digital copies of the game. And the best way to encourage people to buy something that's digital is to make it cheaper than the physical product. Again, if you had a $60 video game and you charged $50 at launch, the very first day at launch, you can pay $50, you get $10 off to buy the digital copy. The majority of people are going to buy the digital copy purely because there is a price discount on it. Okay. And a lot of people will be like, oh, but then they're losing money. No, they're actually not. One, because they save money on production costs. If you don't have to print DVDs, if you don't have to pay people to print your products, the cases, all that, you save on production costs. Secondly, there's no retailer that is the middleman that is taking a cut of that transaction. Okay. And retailers are not some very small fee. Retailers typically, usually I work in the e-commerce market, and typically what happens is for a wholesale purchase, you buy a large quantity of products at a discount per item, okay? And a very common markup in the e-commerce industry is 100%. So let's just use that as an example. Let's say that retailers like Amazon, Walmart, GameStop, they're buying games at $30 a piece in quantities of thousands, right? Like, I mean, they're buying just hundreds of thousands at a time. At $30 a piece, they're then taking those $30 and they're charging $60 for them. Okay, so they mark that product up 100%. Okay, well, if you remove that middleman, if there is no Amazon, if there is no Walmart, there is no GameStop, well, now for a digital purchase, if you pay $50, the publisher and the developer actually get more money than they typically get in a physical sale of the game. So, and Microsoft would decide how they split that up, who they send that to, whether it's developer, publisher, whatever. But the thing remains that you could encourage people to transition to digital sales, even with restrictions, just by offering them bonuses, a benefit, a discount on the game. Okay, it really is that easy. And in every single situation that you hear people arguing about, there is a solution which benefits both parties. It's just that some companies are too thick-headed and stubborn to let go of their way of thinking, to think outside of the box and actually offer us as gamers something that benefits both of us. Okay, a lot of these big companies are very greedy. They're very outdated in the way that they think. The entire entertainment industry is just extremely outdated as far as like how they do distribution, how as far as how they please their customers. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. The second trend that I wanted to talk to you guys about is don't be sheeple. Okay, look at a game or a console. Look at the merits of that game or console objectively and ask yourself, is there something that they could do, a solution that they could have that would benefit both parties, both me and them? And the ones that do those things are going to be the companies that rise to the top. And finally, the last trend that I've been witnessing is a lot of people tell me how bad they hate a certain game or console, right? Like, man, I hate Call of Duty. I hate League of Legends. I can't stand my Xbox 360. Call of Duty Ghosts is going to be terrible. And like, while I have created videos lately that have talked about how to make it better, because I think Call of Duty could be so much better than it is, but I definitely don't hate it, okay? I actually like Call of Duty a lot. I've played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 3. I spent $200 to get Black Ops 2 a week early, okay? And technically I actually made money on Black Ops 2 because I bought 4 copies early and then I resold the other 3 for like $300 each, but that's another story. Even at the inflated price of $200, I've still played Black Ops 2 over 200 hours. I think like 210 hours when I looked at Call of Duty Elite. That's a lot of time. I've still only paid, that's less than $1 per hour for the amount of time that I played Black Ops 2. So I would definitely say that I've gotten my money's worth out of Black Ops 2, especially when compared to other similar mediums in the entertainment industry, like going out to a movie. You know, the hourly rate for a movie is extremely high compared to a video game. But, you know, again, if you truly hate a product, if you truly hate it, all you can do is talk bad about it. All it does is stress you out whenever you play it. Here is my suggestion. Don't buy the next one. Don't even play this one. Sell it. Don't buy the Xbox One. Don't buy Call of Duty Ghosts. Don't buy whatever it is that you are so upset about, okay? There is a lot of power in a purchase. Like, whether you know it or not, inadvertently, when you purchase a product, you are telling that company that you support them. And when you don't purchase a product, you are telling that company that you don't support them. And it doesn't matter what your opinion is. It's as simple as that. When you give money to a company, you're supporting them. And if everyone stopped buying Call of Duty or stopped buying the Xbox or stopped buying the PlayStation, those developers, those creators of those products would be forced to either innovate their products and make them better and make them want us to purchase them again, or they would be taken over by a competitor, by a new developer, by a new creator of a game or console that will be innovative. So again, those are just the three things I really wanted to talk to you guys about. You know, number one, remember that competition is good. We're on the same side as gamers, and we should be excited when people are innovative in this industry, and we should be upset when people are restrictive. Number two, don't be sheeple. Don't just think that all these people are they might not, what's the word for it? A lot of them are they're just figureheads, right? They're PR people. They're never going to say something that makes their product look bad. They're PR people, which is fine, but they're dishonest, okay? And so don't form your own opinions objectively. Voice your opinion when you don't agree with something. Look at the entire problem. Think outside the box. Educate yourself, because there's so many solutions out there that benefit both parties. And a lot of people are they're just uninformed. They're ill-informed, and the very first person that tells them what to believe in, that's what they believe in. And then, last of all, if you hate something so bad, don't buy it. If you enjoy it, support it, great. And you can voice your opinion that you want it to be better. I mean, I'm doing that. Call of Duty Ghosts, again, I'm going to buy it because I think that it will benefit me enough, or it will provide its worth in entertainment. Do I want it to be better? Absolutely. And I'm going to take every step I can to ensure that's better by voicing my opinions to developers, to people in the community, to raise awareness about certain issues that I feel are in the game currently. But the point is, if you don't like a product, don't buy it. If you do, support them and buy it. And that's all I had to say, guys. Malo Alpito, thanks for watching, and I'm out of here.
Everyone says it's overpowered. I suck with it.
Good job, squad. Stand by for further
The
orders.
majority of people use it just sit there with an LMG and never